Hello, and thank you for choosing Text2Car. Today, we're going to go over your water fill site system, along with all the settings and reports available to you. When you first log into your system, everything that's pertaining to your water fill site can be found under Key ID, Reports, and Tools. When you first enter this part of the system, you'll notice a summary report, which is showing you the current month total usage for every pump on your system. You can always get more detail of these reports using the pump report section, which we will go over shortly. But first, we're going to jump into our settings section. You'll notice the first tab in the settings section is the keys section. This is where you can assign keys to different clients, as well as add payments. If you do have the USB key reader, you can simply click the Find button and scan your fob, which will automatically pull it up for you. If we select a fob here, a new one, you can see that you can enter the client's name under the alias. If they wish to get transaction reports each time they use the pump, you can enter their email here. If you have a group created, you can select the group from this drop-down. I'll show you how to create groups shortly with this tab. Next is the total volume, which will start at 0 if it's a new client. And if it is an existing client, you can see the total volume that they've used right here. If you're using either a pre or a post-pay system, it is very important to check to enable the balance tracking. Again, a new client will start at 0, but if you're using a prepay system and they've made a payment, you can enter that payment by clicking the change button. Lastly, a very important section is the authorization. This is going to allow this key to work at these pump sites. If a client loses a key or for any reason you need them to not be able to access the pump, you simply come in here and unauthorize them. When you are done, make sure you click on Save Key ID. Next, I'll show you the Groups tab. And this is where we can create different groups. Different groups could be things like your fire station, ratepayers, or non-ratepayers. To add a group, you simply click Add a Group, enter the name of the group, and then here you can add a secondary rate. If a rate is added under a group, this is what they will be charged rather than the standard rate, which is assigned to the pump in the pump station section. So here we can see we have two different pumps, and if we select one of them, we can see the flow rate. This is how much water is pumped out per minute. Next is the rate, which is how much you charge per liter. All of the external flow sensors settings pertain to if you have an external flow sensor attached. Next is the safety shutoff timeout, which will automatically shut the pump down after a certain amount of time. So if you want to do that, you can always just select it here. And lastly, receive notifications is whether or not this pump will send out emails when the pump is in use. Next is the System tab. So here we can set up different settings, such as sending out email notifications when someone is below $5, or any amount that you want can be added there. If you want to send out an email when someone uses a certain amount of liters, you can enter that value here. Here are different ways we can automatically have keys disabled, essentially unauthorized to use the pumps. If you're using a prepay system, you're going to want that to automatically disable the key whenever they hit $0 by checking this box here. You can also have the keys automatically disabled whenever they use a certain amount of volume. You can enter that amount here. Right now, we're going to go back to key IDs, which was the first page when we clicked on Key ID and Reports Tools. And we're going to go into the pump report. So here we can get reports for each pump or each user, however you want to build them. So if you wanted to build a report for just one pump, you can always do it, click it here, or we'll leave it as all and build it for both of these pumps. Next, if you're just looking to get a report for one client, you can select them here. Right now, we'll leave this for all clients. And we'll quickly build just a summary report. So as you can see, the summary report is simply going to give you their current balance, the total volume they have used, and then here you'll see that how many transactions they've used at each pump, the total runtime, the total volume they've taken, and the total charge. If we scroll back up, we can select a detailed report. This may take some time to load, but the difference between a summary report and a detailed report is a detailed report will show each transaction. So here we can see there was a transaction on the 15th for 1 minute and 67 minutes, and there is a total charge here. This always tallies it at the bottom. One last thing to mention is the date range. So we were building this report from July 1st to July 17th. However, you can always go back and build these reports for any date you want by selecting it here. And that concludes the tutorial video on the Waterfill sites. Thanks for watching.